Ethan sat by the window of his small apartment, watching the city lights flicker like distant stars. He had always believed that life would unfold smoothly, that hard work and good intentions would pave the way to success. But as he neared his 40s, he found himself questioning everything. Despite years of effort, his career stagnated, his relationships crumbled, and the weight of past mistakes clung to him like shadows in the night. One evening, he received an unexpected letter from his grandfather, a man he hadn't seen in years. The letter was simple but powerful. "Come visit me. I have something to show you." With nothing to lose and a heart full of unspoken regrets, Ethan packed his bags and embarked on a journey that would change his life forever. The train ride to his grandfather's remote cabin felt strangely symbolic. As the city disappeared behind him, so did the noise of his restless mind. He had spent too many years running, chasing promotions, wealth, and validation, but now all he had was time to think. When he arrived, the old man greeted him with a knowing smile. "You're lost, aren't you?" his grandfather asked. Ethan chuckled bitterly. "Completely." His grandfather handed him a notebook. "This isn't just a visit, Ethan. It's a lesson. Every day, I will share one truth with you. If you truly understand them, you'll never be the same." The next morning, his grandfather led him to a field. "What do you see?" he asked. Ethan shrugged. "Just grass and weeds." The old man handed him 2 jars, one filled with sand, the other with rocks. "Fill this empty jar," he instructed. Ethan poured in the sand first, then tried to fit the rocks, but they wouldn't all fit. His grandfather shook his head. "Now, try putting the rocks first." This time, when Ethan placed the rocks first and poured the sand around them, everything fit perfectly. Life works the same way, Ethan. If you fill it with trivial things first, you won't have room for what truly matters. Prioritize wisely. That evening, his grandfather took him to the river. "Throw this rock into the water," he said. Ethan obeyed, watching the ripples expand. "Your regrets, your failures, they are like this rock. You hold on to them, but in the grand flow of life, they are insignificant. Let them go, Ethan." He hesitated. He had carried his failures for so long, missed opportunities, broken friendships, and words left unsaid. "But what if I can't?" he whispered. His grandfather smiled. "Then you will drown carrying them." Ethan woke up sore from chopping wood the previous day. "Why make me do this?" he complained. His grandfather tossed him a rusted knife. "This knife is dull, useless, but if I sharpen it, it will become powerful." He pointed at Ethan's hands, rough from labor. "Struggles sharpen you. Pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher." One morning, Ethan vented about a former friend who betrayed him. His grandfather listened, then led him to a lake. "Speak to the water," he instructed. Confused but obedient, Ethan spoke. "Nothing happens," he said. "Now be silent." They stood still, and the water calmed. "Silence brings clarity, Ethan. Not everyone deserves to hear your thoughts. Choose your words and your audience wisely." Ethan often felt defeated, overwhelmed by the weight of expectations. His grandfather gave him a seed. "What will this become?" he asked. "A tree," Ethan replied. "Only if you nurture it," the old man said. "Your thoughts work the same way. Train them well, or they will grow wild and consume you." One night, they sat under the stars. "What's your biggest regret?" his grandfather asked. Ethan hesitated. "Not taking chances." His grandfather nodded. "Fear paralyzes. But in the end, you'll regret what you didn't do more than what you did." Ethan struggled to wake early, but his grandfather insisted on dawn routines. "Freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's having control over yourself. Discipline makes today hard, but tomorrow easier." His grandfather pointed at a dying tree surrounded by weeds. "Even the strongest fall when surrounded by the wrong environment. Be mindful of those you let in your life." Ethan wanted quick results. His grandfather laughed. "The river doesn't carve the mountain overnight. Small, consistent actions shape the greatest changes." His grandfather placed a mirror in front of him. "The 2 most important days of your life. The day you were born and the day you discover why. What is your purpose, Ethan? Find it, and everything else will align." After weeks of lessons, Ethan felt different. As he packed to leave, his grandfather handed him the notebook. These truths are yours now. Go live them. As Ethan boarded the train, he realized he was no longer the same man who had arrived. His journey wasn't over, it was just beginning.